Molly Ringwald move, but when my children have attempted to teach me TikTok dances and it fails miserably. So I am not going to be doing that. What I am going to be doing is I will go ahead and present in Teams here. And since my friends Max and Leaf know how to use PowerPoint Live, when it's your turn, you're welcome to take it from me. Um, and I know that makes Dwayne happy. Every time anybody who knows Dwayne knows that if you're on a call and they don't use PowerPoint Live, even if Dwayne's not on it, you know that he's crying somewhere. Like you literally think of him. There are two things. He would be probably sad to say that I don't think, well, no, I do actually think of him when I think of bourbon and whiskey. But the two things that make me think of Dwayne are uh, PowerPoint Live and land grant universities. So if you say land grant, if there was word association, Dwayne would be the next thing that I would say. Um,
Yeah.
but I can turn facilitator on. Yeah, I can absolutely do
Mm,
that. Thanks,
good.
Marge. I've got the recording going, but I'm got facilitator turned on.
Mm.
Carlos, I believe Carlos is like overseas right now, so he's not here to join us. But Glynis, did you have something that you wanted to say before we get rolling?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I was just going to say that, I mean, I certainly love PowerPoint Live, but what I find tricky when I'm facilitating is that if I then want to switch and, share my screen, then it's needing to stop and then reshare. And so I find that kind of really problematic. Um, but yeah, I don't know if anybody's come up with some better way to make that a little bit easier, but I haven't
Maybe we
found a
should
good
ask
way.
Copilot. No, I don't know that there is, honestly, but we can we can circle back.
Yeah.
But oh, sorry. Real. Okay, didn't want to cut you off. Sorry. Sorry, Glennis. Yeah, I believe Carlos is overseas right now. Hopefully, he travels safely. We were trying to figure out what the new club was going to be, and Max was chatting with us, and I believe what we had considered Club Sandwich before. And Max said it, and I said, you know what? That's been on the table for a while, no pun intended, but we'll go with it. We will go with club sandwich. And before we truly get into everything, y'all know I love using Create to make our images. Today is Veterans Day. And we want to just say thank you to all of our veterans. Apparently, we have twins in this picture here. I thought that was kind of interesting. If you are a veteran and you either have a picture or just you want to drop in the chat that you are so that we can give you some love with some emojis. Thank you, thank you, thank you for your service. I always am in complete and utter admiration of those who serve our country because I think I would be terrible at it. So I try to do other good things. But I really just truly appreciate everybody who makes that sacrifice. So thank you to all who have or are currently. Um, we here at Microsoft genuinely appreciate everything that you do. So we didn't want to let that go by without saying thank you to everybody. Um, and so, yeah, we'll get back into a little bit of the silly in case you were wondering, because we do this every month. It has to do with our club. So I was curious why we were calling it the club sandwich. So Copilot gave me some interesting information. It's not particularly shocking, It says that it's used to be a clubhouse sandwich, upscale clubhouses. I feel like it's definitely something you would have seen in maybe a golf club or something back in the day. Um, and I'm also curious, feel free to drop your club sandwich recipes in the chat. That's the classic structure there, double decker with toasted bread, sliced turkey or chicken, bacon, lettuce, tomato, and mayo. Um, you know, but there's the first printed recipe, according to Copilot at least, of what a club sandwich was. So do with that. We have done golf club. Yeah. I do have, I have a full caddy uniform that I did whip out for that. Surprisingly, I bought that for another occasion and I had 2 uses for it. So that, there's that. All right. Quickly. Oh, Greg's here. Hi, Greg. Quickly, we'll do the agenda. Darren, I tried. I uploaded your picture. We've got new helpers here. Lindsay, let me see here. Lindsay, no, there we go. Lindsay can't be with us today. Amy can't be with us today, but Darren is. So Darren, I uploaded your picture, and this is what we got. So hopefully Copilot did you proud enough. It's never exact, but we tried. So we'll do some reminders and recap. And then the feature is pretty long, and our friends Max and Leaf are going to take us on that journey. I'll throw it over to Dwayne. Dwayne, tell us what Club Copilot is truly all about so that I will stop talking.
It's all about you all. This is kind of a sister call to MS Office Hours, which is a lot more technical in nature. This is not a technical call, so if you have really hard technical questions, save those for Thursdays. We will try to answer it. They play Stump the Chump with us all the time. We really appreciate it. But this is to help keep you all informed of stuff that's new, like what we're going to talk about today, which is really new. You're going to get updates from us. We're going to take particular features and focus on those and make sure that we dive a little deeper into them so that you understand them. And if it's broken, you should call support. Like, you should put in a support case. We can't really guarantee that we're going to be able to fix everything that you tell us is broken. We'll try to answer questions if we can. But yeah, we're not like officially tech support. So you should still always put in a ticket. I think we have t-shirts somewhere on that. Like, did you try putting in a support ticket or something like that?
Yes, we do in the MS Office Hours store, which we do have, y'all. It does say, have you opened a ticket?
Yeah. Have you opened a ticket? And I know that some folks are having issues joining. I'm not really sure what's going on there. Greg, sorry to call you out, but I just saw what you said in the chat. KJ, try having him joining using his guest account. I'm not really sure what happened with this meeting series, but we're getting messed with, maybe by some sort of policy of some kind. So, oh, he doesn't have one. I don't know.
All right. We'll fiddle around with that because KJ is able to join our MS Office Hours. So we know something works. So we will definitely figure that out. And for anybody who wasn't with us last month, you can access the recording. We only record one of the calls each month. We record the first the first meeting, which is the second Tuesday of the month. We will not have a second meeting of the month this month because it falls on the week of Thanksgiving. So we will be taking that time off. All of the recordings, slides, I do need to double check that we've uploaded all the slides, but we will go back and put those in there. As Dwayne mentioned, this is kind of we never really called it our sister call, but I like that. MS National Office Hours is every Thursday. That's the community right there. If you were forwarded this invite, you don't have access to the Club Copilot channel. So make sure that you are using that AKA/Club Copilot, and that will be your registration, and we'll get you added so you can do that. So that leads us to the stars of the show. And so we're going to just give them the complete floor. This is Club Copilot Sandwich with the feature of the month, the Teach module. So Max and Leaf, this show is yours. I'm going to turn the camera off and the mic, and you guys take it away.
Thank you very much. So my name is Leif Brenner, and Max is my colleague here. We were talking about some of the new functionality that are available for everybody in the Copilot application, and something that's coming pretty soon, I would say, functionality. So let's talk about the We'll talk about two kind of scenarios today. One is for educators, and then Max will talk about the learners nerd afterwards. So let's talk about the educator first. So I'm assuming most of you guys have been using the Microsoft 365 Copilot app as we have today, but we're now adding a couple of new things in this application as well. So of course, chat, as you use today for your AI chat experiences, and search is going to be there. Agents, there is, of course, built in the broad ecosystem for agents. We are now adding a new agent called Study and Learn that Max will talk about, which is focused specifically for students to use in their area. For notebooks, Copilot notebooks, we are coming in a couple of, actually this month, a new feature there called Study Guide, which is another way for teach students to use notebooks and kind of focus that area, very much like Notebook LM in this case here. For Create, and actually going to ask Max about this thing. So right now, the Create experience is not everything in the education tenant as we have for enterprise tenant, but it is actually rolling out in the next couple of weeks to get that functionality, right, Max?
Yes. Right now, maybe a few lucky of you who go click on Create will see AI functionality in there, and the rest, unlucky ones, it's coming soon. What I'm trying to say fancily is it is rolling out as we speak. 10% of educators should be seeing it, and we're hoping that hits 100 by the end of the week. We never make promises on those things. And then students 18 plus will come after that, and students 13 plus after that as well.
Thank you very much, Max. So that's coming up cool. So that's a lot of functionality. Again, the chat search agent, this chat search agent, Create and Teach are for all users, does not require Copilot license. If you have Copilot license, of course, Notebook will be there, and we have additional functionality as well, but that's kind of the functionality right now. What we're going to talk about today first is the new Teach module. And Teach module is basically a home for you to create content using the AI tools, right? So you can always create stuff in the chat, of course. This is more streamlined experience for you to create content in the first place. So this first version that are out right now has three experiences, one for lesson planning, and then we have the rubrics creation, and also study aid for flashcards. And we're adding more as we speak. Actually, this week we start rolling out quiz functionality as well. So you'll see more and more that coming in the next upcoming months. So talk more about this functionality right now. So first, lesson plan. Lesson plan is kind of a tool for you to get some ideas on how to teach certain lesson, of course. Use your science, your subject, your grade, and your description, and you can add content to it. And we support about 36 different country standards. Use the standards to create kind of a quick lesson, and use this thing as to get good ideas for your lesson plan as well. It's fully rolled out right now for everybody to use, and hopefully you can try it out and get some good feedback for us. This is all available for people so basically people with M365 license. I'm gonna everything I'm showing going forward now until everything we showed the rest of the day actually is all for people having M365 normal license. That's not the Copilot specific license. And I'm sure Max will reiterate that multiple times in the chat as well. So it is not. Yep. Yeah. Thank you, Dwayne. I think there. So yeah, lesson plan is a part of this curriculum planning stuff. Another planning stuff we are looking at is adding Minecraft lessons as well. So especially for young kids in these things, we want to have a quick way for teachers to create kind of rich Minecraft education lesson plans. So this is a quick way to create kind of step-by-step instructions and tie those lesson plans directly to the standards you choose as well. So it's built in that functionality for you. We expect that to be out in preview at the beginning of next year. For the kind of homework and assessment area we're looking for is, of course, rubrics. Now you can do this if you're using Teams today directly. Or you can add it directly in the Teach. And Teach, of course, you're going to add your your titles and description, and again, the same standards you support today. So you can imagine you create your lesson plan first, and then as you have a way to measure that lesson plan, you use rubric for those things that's automatically built into it. So you can now do not only creating rubrics, you can of course save to OneDrive to share with your student as well. So it's a great way to kind of, for of course, teachers to set the right expectations for the students. And later, if you're using Teams, you can then use the same rubrics for your grading experience, and we also support feedback directly in your grading experience in Teams using the rubric as well. So kind of quick way to do those things there. The other thing that's coming out and that is just rolling out right now, I'm very excited about this one actually, is the ability for us to create quizzes directly with Copilot. So in similar stuff before, we can use your subject and your grade level, and of course now your description for you want to have the quiz for, and then you can add standards. Again, the same standards you see between lesson plan and rubrics. You see kind of a theme there, and you can choose different questions and length of the practice, and then use Copilot to generate that quiz for you automatically. Once it's created, you can of course edit it, change it, or we'll do that functionality, and then share this with your students in multiple ways, of course, directly through just to forms, so put it into your forms, into your assignments, or into your LMS system directly. So a great way to kind of create these quizzes for you directly. And yes, it is a 6-7 stuff there as well. It's always fun to listen to 6-7 drugs. Other thing that's are in the thing is our learning activities. So we have one thing should ready was flashcard, which is a quick way for us to actually generate flashcards either by content you have itself. You can have in your flashcard experience just pure text, so add image as well. So it's a quick way for us for the students to kind of pick up on where it is for that particular engaging stuff as well. You will see later when Max talking about study and learn agent, we'll actually enable students to create flashcards directly in the agent experience as well. So kind of excited to see that experience too. Coming shortly in preview is another learning activity, which is fill in the blanks. So fill in the blanks is going to be a lot of the as expected, you provide content, and it's a good way for kind of teachers, students to kind of figure out, they know the stuff, and can they actually fill it out? So this is AI creating that fill in the blank experience for you. It'll come out in preview in the next couple of weeks actually, and then rolling out this December month. So excited about that getting out as well. Okay. Going through these areas right now, the last one we're looking for soon for our learning activity is around matching. So matching, of course, is quick matching. I do my Duolingo myself. I do a lot of matching these days. But anyway, matching is a quick way to create those kind of interactive lessons for the students. As well, so we can create those things in the learning activities and through the teach module as well. So I see a lot of new interactive experiences for teachers and students. And the cool thing about it, and I think Max will talk about it as well, is that all these learning activities is also available for students as well to create their own stuff and share with their other students. Okay, last but not least, let's go to the last kind of areas looking for the teach module, which is coming up this quarter, preview this quarter. It's all about modified content. So we talked about here the ability for us to talk about planning for lesson planning and rubrics and quiz and so forth, basically. Now, we do know a lot of teachers obviously has their content already. So the modified content area is all about kind of helping teachers kind of use their existing content and change those for fit their needs. So the kind of 4 areas looking for there, align to standards, differentiate instructions, modify reading level, and add supporting examples. So for align to standards, we'll take a text, maybe instructions, you'll pick your standards, I've seen before, and what we'll do is actually tweak that instructions to align to whatever standards will be. So if we're talking about maybe it's about understanding something or analyze something, we'll tweak the model to be aligned to that standard you pick as well. So kind of a quick way to make that much more quicker for you in your creation flow. Similar to this is differentiate instructions. So we know, of course, a lot of students do learn different ways and instruction different ways. So this is an interesting tool to take basically your instructions or other content, fit it for a certain level you're looking for. And then you do it with scaffolding, like, step by step or examples or hints and those things. To actually change the content for that particular instruction. So the quick way to make it kind of targeted different users in your class. And of course, you can just copy and paste this thing into your instructions in Teams or LMS system to use directly as well. So kind of quick way to get that started as well. For a lot of content looking for it, on the reading as well. So in this case, the modified reading level allows you to take any text. We will kind of set your target level for grade again, so that could be 4th, 5th, 6th grade or up. And then we know that a lot of teachers, of course, while the modified reading level, keep a set of key terms that are important to use in your class. So in this case, we will actually analyze the text you have and then suggest key terms to preserve. And if you can, of course, make your own terms there as well. And if you want to, you can add us to your glossary. So at the end of the day, what we have now is kind of a modified reading text, focus on the key term, but still kind of explaining all the key terms you have in your class as well. So kind of a quick way to get those things directly in the experience. And last but not least, Add supporting examples is going to help you create these examples quickly. Could be historical, real world, scientific examples in text. And you can choose some examples you want, and it will automatically be added to your text as well. So again, all these tools are just a quick way to create those things. Now we know you can do already some stuff in chat already. It's just like a quick way to get those things out for you in your world as well. So as a quick kind of run over all the teacher functionality, I think the next slide just talk about where all those kind of experiences are. You will see them come pretty soon in the next couple of months and the quarters, but super excited to see those things. And to reiterate, this is for all users to have that have M35 license, do not need a specific Copilot license. Phew, so it's a lot of information. I'm gonna actually go over to Max now to take over the AI for Learners scenario as well. To take it away, Max.
Happily. There's the take control button. Okay. So now that Life has covered AI for educators, I am going to cover the AI for learners side. And out of transparency, because you're looking at something where you're like, they're only talking about 2 pillars. That's right. We're really only talking about 2 core pillars of things that really are accessible or going to be accessible to everybody. We have other stuff happy to talk about in other forums, and we've got webinars online. And talk to your account teams, X, Y, and Z. So, surprise, surprise, we're back to the M365 Copilot app, which is where, again, all of the AI innovation is going. Not all, but a lot. So much like Life was talking about for the educator side of things, for the learner side, or you want to say students, these features we're going to show are also at no extra license beyond your A1, A3, A5. And if you want to get technical, that's Office 365, A1, A3, A5, or Microsoft 365, A1, A3, or A5. Any of those O or M365 licenses count. Now, the one special thing about students is currently we have support for AI features in Copilot for students 13 plus. There's a whole thing you have to do to set that up, and we've made it actually pretty easy, I think, at least, or not terribly hard. We can send you instructions on that. So all of the features I'm going to show you now are going to be available for students 13 plus. All right, moving right in. I'm going to keep my chat open so I can see what everybody is talking about as well. The first thing that we're going to talk about is called the Study and Learn Agent in M365 Copilot. So what we've done is we've gone ahead and done a lot of learning science research, partnered with learning science experts, curriculum experts, and a bunch of customers, and figured out how could we build a Copilot experience that'll actually help students learn and study. And what we came up with is this agent you're seeing right here. So this is the Study and Learn agent. The Study and Learn agent is supposed to be an interactive agent, not just spitting answers back at you, and a multimodal agent that can actually work across different modalities, whether that be chat, image, voice, or activity-based. And as I mentioned before, it's built on a foundation of a ton of learning science work. It is designed to provide a little bit more personal experience, adaptable, inclusive experience, and actually foster students' ability to learn and think. The way that you'll be able to access this once it is out, which by the way, there's a preview coming out later this month, and we are hoping to bring this general availability to everybody early next year. If you want to be in the preview, reach out, let us know. The way you'll be able to access this is, first of all, in the agent store, as we now call it, in the Copilot app, and also in the Teams Copilot store. It's all kind of one together. Right where you see the other agents that are built by Microsoft, you might not see all of these depending on your licensing. You will see Study and Learn, not dependent on your licensing. That's going to be right there. And the awesome other thing for EDU users is it's going to be pre-pinned there for you already. Now an admin can choose to unpin that, but it's going to be one of those agents at the top of the list for the student audience. And just to say, you do not need to be a student to use this. Faculty, professional staff, learning is a part of everybody's job. And so this agent is going to be accessible to everybody. The last place you're going to see it is down in the tools menu. In the tools menu, you are going to see the Study and Learn button right there. And that's a little bit more of where you might be seeing agent mode in Word and Researcher and Copilot chat and things like that. Study and Learn will be right there, super easily accessible. So here's a little bit of a quick walkthrough of what this is like. And then I promise we will go through these in a little bit more detail. So there you can see the different ways to access it. So a lot of stuff there. I'm just going to kind of break down a little bit of it quickly. Not going to make you watch any more videos, but if you remember from the beginning of Study Guide, let's go back to a better picture. It focuses on helping you understand concepts, practice your learnings, and study new material. So understanding concepts really is all about a student bringing a new concept and or material that they might have from themselves or their educator or their class. And Copilot Chat will then break that down into individual topics to help the learner understand the individual parts of it. Copilot will take in and start creating graphs and start creating imagery to help students where that's appropriate. And the chat experience will be direct still, very much like Copilot always is, but it will continue to encourage learners to think more, to learn more. And the classic, it's not just going to give you the answer to what is the answer to this equation. It's going to show you, here's how you could get to the answer. It's not going to frustrate the student by not giving them the answer outright, but it's going to help the student learn how they could have gotten to it on their own as well. On the practicing with activities side, this is where we ingrain some of those activities that Life was talking about from the Teach module, the flashcards functionality, the fill in the blanks functionality, more and more as we build more and more, quizzes from forums. All of that is baked in here so that you can say, hey, I am trying to learn this. Help me practice it. And you can do that right in line with Copilot Chat using this larger page view. And then study guides. This is the one and only feature I have to say is something that would require paid licensing because this leverages Copilot notebooks. But it will, if you have that licensing, allow you to create study guides. And those study guides will create a bundle of content. We call it a Copilot notebook that breaks things down by key topics, breaks things down by individual topics, adds real world relevance, identifies common misconceptions, adds examples, exercises, and then builds in those interactive activities and quizzes we just talked about as well. So the Study and Learning Agent, we're really excited for this to come out. And there's a lot to build there that we want you to be a part of the build process. So if you're interested in being a part of this, let us know. There's so much that we could do to build with you instead of for you, we like to call. And lastly, Life mentioned some of this. We have additional learning activities that are coming next, both inside of that Teach module and here. Fill in the blank exercises, matching exercises, reading practice exercises, and more that we can't talk about yet because we're still landing on them. To those activities, learning activities not only is just something that exists in that Teach environment, it's something that exists in that agent for study and learn. Learning activities exists as a solo product you can go use today. Life will be kind enough to put the link in the chat for me. Don't use the link in this screenshot. That's not real. But today, all of you should be able to go to, is it learningactivities.edu?
I'll get it for you in 2 seconds.
Thank you. We have an AKA link as well. But you can go to the Learning Activities web app and you can just start creating activities. Now, today you only see flashcards. I hope very soon you see fill in the blanks. We're working fast on it. Again, get in our preview programs. But there you can create those activities. And if you're an educator, you can share them out with students. We have a really cool sharing process that allows you to just get a short link code and a student at the same location can just type in that code, much like a lot of other apps, and they can get going on it. But students can also land on this. And as long as a student has Copilot Chat enabled for them, meaning you've set them up with the right 13 plus, 18 plus, whatever, they can also create learning activities. And they can share them with their friends if they choose to, but really students can, do a little bit more self-driven learning right here by saying, oh God, this is the study materials I need to study for. Let's do some practicing. So flashcards, quick demo of that. I know we saw some of this already, but it's quite simple. We built a really great user interface for this with a ton of users, even some students providing feedback to us to really help you identify where you might want to practice again, so you don't have to sort those piles of flashcards on your own. Fill in the blanks activities, again, really nice, simple, easy to use. You drag and drop things, and it will help show you areas where you might want to improve so you can practice over and over again. And last but not least, we have our matching activities, which is matching pairs. It's fun. Everybody likes doing this as a game, right? So you can match up your pairs, see which ones you got wrong, which ones you got right. And for matching, we're also introducing a leaderboard, since there's a timing aspect to it, to kind of keep track of streaks and times and things like that. And for this, students can enter in a more fun name so that it puts the pressure off of actually competing with your peers. And that is everything I had to show.
Nice. Let me come back on. What questions are out there? Because these are the experts here, not me, the ones that were speaking to you. They're the experts and they can answer those questions. Yeah, Marge, what you got?
I'm wondering about sharing, and I'm talking about sharing outside of the tenant. I'm aware that Notebook LM has some amount of ability to share. I think they call them containers, but I don't really know. So I'm wondering, that's a way to build up more content across the ecosystem if things can be readily shared.
Yeah, it's a very valid ask. It's not something we've tackled yet. There are more security and compliance concerns with you all being you're all subject to enterprise agreements with us to keep a very tight level of security and compliance. So that's why we haven't jumped on that right away. But that doesn't mean we're not going to. We'll look deeply in that space and see if there's opportunity for us to do some more cross-tenant sharing.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, in addition to getting answers, maybe if you have thoughts and ideas, this is the place to share them.
Absolutely. If you looked at any of the things that you saw and were like, I'm not sure I'd use that because it would need X, Y, and Z, please, Life and I are the right people to tell X, Y, and Z to. And we do not take offense if you say that was garbage.
I saw the question from Jack there too. It's the same thing, right? So these activities cannot be shared outside a tenant right now. It's within the tenant itself. So yeah.
Jack.
Oh, Jack.
Yeah, I do have a question. Thanks for showing off the new stuff. I think it's pretty exciting. We're in higher ed, and I'm wondering, have you tested against some, like engineering terms or higher ed biology terms? I've in Teach in particular, or in Study and Learn, Teach did a pretty good job when I threw in some lessons from, like a 200 level course, but wondering how advanced that could be in the future.
Like the quality, you mean for higher ed, you mean, or something?
Yes, yeah. Just like if a student has a really detailed set of notes from an engineering 201 course, is Teach going to be able to reason over that meaningfully, or is that just something in the future that we have to sort out?
I mean the boring answer, I guess, is that these things are based on the latest open AI model. So using a ChatGPT 4.1, I believe this case for functionality, and we'll update this to 4.5 and 5 in the future as well. So it will be as good as those will be, actually, because what we're doing right now in experiences is pretty UI experience across all of those things, plus a lot of system prompts to kind of especially with Studio Learn Agent, to make it much more kind of targeted for learners and students, basically. So it should be as good as those models are.
Okay, thanks.
So I want to take a minute to answer a question in the chat, because answering it in the chat directly wouldn't do it justice. There's a question from Justin about incorrect information and or AI hallucinations, and how does Copilot protect students from these experiences when they don't have deep knowledge of the subject? We have done extensive testing in this realm to make sure that we are we're avoiding that at all costs. Microsoft has, it sounds like lip service, but I can assure you, Life and I can assure you, it is not. We have a set of responsible AI principles that within the company, and I think even publicly you might be able to see, we break them down into more or less a checklist of like 200 plus things that all of our AI tools must comply with. And education tools are even put under more scrutiny, especially when they're student facing, where we make sure that we avoid those situations. So we do a couple different things. Number one, we make sure that we prompt engineer our tools with safety gates to make sure that we avoid what we would call harms. I would call both of those things harms: incorrect information, AI hallucination. And so we'll do checks to make sure that our AI features are not producing harms. Nothing's ever 100% in the AI world. So we also do UI functionality. So we put things inside of our user interfaces everywhere that we can in the appropriate places to make sure that the end user knows that this is AI generated. And especially before an end user takes an action to save or share content, that they understand that it is their responsibility to edit that content, to review that content. And I know, we know that students don't read the instructions, right? They just jump into something. So we're always trying to improve in this realm, and we're being quite careful about that specific concept in the student space.
Yeah, and also hallucination. A lot of stuff you see specifically in study guide and study learn is really based on the content the student provides to you, right? So
Yes.
it should be much more targeted versus just all up web stuff functionality. So we try as best we can. And we do see, like, outside of what we're doing, and as Max said, all our system prompts is very much focused on that functionality, but we also see kind of the kind of new models like GPT 4.5 and GPT 5 is better and better as to not lower hallucination, but it's still gonna be hallucination there, obviously, but we try as best as we can.
What we have found is that the features that we're building are providing a better student and teacher experience from a responsible AI principle than spot checking other AI tools that we've seen, where we feel pretty good about it. But super important, if you ever see something that does not seem right, that yikes, it shouldn't have done that, hit that thumbs down button immediately. That comes right to us.
That's also a great question from Jack about the accessibility in the UX, and I will verify that actually in 2 seconds, the same thing, but it's a #1 priority for us to make accessibility working for all our tools, right? You see that in all our tools building with like immersive reader, and looking for kind of the keyboard accessibility, everything else there. So it should be there, but I will actually verify it right now, but if that's true enough for fill in blanks. But thanks for calling it out, Jack.
Yeah, I like that Max called out the thumbs up, thumbs down button. Those of you who have been with Club Copilot, you came last year, we heard the same thing when we talked. We had Excel, we were talking about Excel. We aren't kidding when we tell you that it goes to the people that need to see it. So that's why we encourage that you're using it, so that the right folks are seeing what you like and what you don't like. And so make sure that you are following up on that and making sure that that stuff gets taken care of.
I wish I could show you the dashboard right now, but I have a feeling I'd get fired for doing it.
Please don't. We need you.
But it's real. We look at it.
Yes. All right. Well, on that note, what we'll go ahead and do is we'll wrap up for today. I will send, I apologize, I haven't gotten emails out, and I think we could have gotten some more friends on here today. So I will make sure that we get some emails out and reminders so that you are, sorry, I just had a random pop-up on my screen. Sorry about that. It distracted me real fast. We will get the reminders out, and we will make sure that everybody is aware before our December 9th meeting. If you have club ideas, I'm struggling. I was trying to work on ideas for something December themed. Just did not. It's gotta be in the phrase. You gotta somehow fit in club in the name. So, whatever you can do to help us out, and we'll make some fun graphics to go with it. But thank you so much. Ooh, Bob. Oh, Bob with the caroling club. You don't tell Heather something about singing and then think she's not going to do that one. Oh, yep. Okay. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll get it posted. We'll get it sent out, and we appreciate everybody. And yeah, we'll see y'all real soon. Bye.
Thanks, everybody. Have a good one.